listening to Allman in the Morning. Common Sense Radio.
Let's get right to the Gateway Pundit, Jimmy Hoft, covering it all. So, yeah, what happened to Lucian there in the White House press room, brother? What's going on? I love the pictures. The guy's from Fox News. I never heard of him on the air, but is he like a producer or something? John Decker? What does he do?
Good morning, Jamie. Yeah, John Decker works for Fox News Radio, which is a separate entity, and he's been in the White House press room since 1995. So this guy is a lifelong elitist journalist in Washington, D.C. He's on the board of the White House Correspondents Association. So he's very well respected within the press pool at the White House, and he's also completely unhinged. And he's a committed leftist, and he abused Lucian last Friday during the presser. And Lucian, who represents Gateway Pundit at the White House, something new, and a sweet kid. You've interviewed him.
Yeah.
You know he's a great guy. Very intelligent. He's a gay conservative, by the way. And this guy comes up to Lucian and starts harassing him inside the press room. He starts screaming at him, calling him a fascist who writes for a white supremacist website. And he screams at him that he's a Nazi. This is in the middle of the press room. He grabbed at Lucian. He wouldn't let Lucian inside the bathroom. He was blocking him and shoving him with his chest. And then when Lucian came out to the main room, this guy continued to start screaming at him and pointing at him that he's a Nazi and a white supremacist who works for a white supremacist website. So this is the kind of lunacy that we have in the White House press room, Jamie, and it's no wonder that Trump gets the press he does, because these people are completely unhinged. After this incident, Lucian, of course, was freaked out. He's texting me and calling me during this whole time. He's a little guy, and he's frightened, as he should be, would be the natural reaction. Afterwards, Politico writes an article saying that all of the press pool then congratulated John Decker, shook his hand, gave him high fives for confronting Lucian the way he did. This is unbelievable.
I was just about to say, facetiously, that I'm so glad the press corps all came to Lucian's defense, but obviously they didn't. Wow.
They didn't. We put in a complaint. I wrote Sean Spicer as the White House communication director. I haven't heard back yet. But I'm flying out to D.C. this morning, and we're going to have a press conference tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
And I haven't announced that yet, but I'm announcing it this morning. And we're going to talk about this and talk about the culture inside this White House press room. I think it's completely unhinged. This is why a lot of Americans think Donald Trump is a Nazi, think that his supporters are supremacists, because we have clowns like this representing the American public.
Right.
And
the so-called Fourth Estate, Yeah.
Yeah. Now, here's another point for you. Lucian is a gay conservative, and his grandfather fled the Nazis. His grandfather, a Jewish man, fled the Nazis in World War II from Poland and came to the U.S. And as far as the Gateway Pundit, as you know, Jamie, I've written over 50,000 posts in 12 years. I've probably written about 3,000 or 4,000 about Israel, and every last one of them has been in support of Israel.
Right.
So for this freaking clown to, call us names like that, it's uncalled for, and we're going to demand that some action is taken. And that's why we're having this press conference tomorrow.
Well, good. Definitely don't let this go. Unfortunately, it's probably not going to be covered by a majority of the press. These individuals apparently, as we've seen within that press room, are just simply extensions of the establishment that President Trump himself has crushed. And they just don't want to have anything to do with it. So it's too bad.
Right. Yeah. So, we're going to speak out. We're not going to, sit on our hands. We're not going to take this. It's completely inappropriate. In any other company in America, Jamie, this guy would have been fired or suspended. So far, no action has been taken.
Well, yeah, and the only action
being cheered.
Right, yeah, the only action we have is that he's being hailed as a hero within the press room. So I hope you absolutely bust it wide open there and keep us abreast of when this news conference is so we can cover both radio and TV and make sure that we're on top of that, Jimmy. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Jamie.
All right, safe travels up to D.C., and we'll be following up on that. Speaking of following up, we'll continue to look into this Michael Brown documentary video. And, of course, speaking of the press and the corrupt press, how about their reporting on the resignations and firings of U.S. attorneys? All that straight ahead.